Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Toxic Radio at Night. We're all in the wrong place at the wrong time. I'm here to talk about all things toxic and taboo. No topic is off the table. If it's toxic to our families, toxic to our culture, toxic to our country, and toxic to our way of life, we'll talk about it. When all the others decided to go toxic left, we stood firmly right. Greetings from my hideout, somewhere in the rural parts of Canada, where nothing is as it seems, nothing is normal, because the toxic darkness is seeping into every fiber of our existence. I am your host, Denise in Canada. I'm sure you've been watching all the riots in the last few days that are happening in the United States. We know they're wrong. We can tell that it's wrong. What the way they're dealing with it. Why is it wrong? They're looting, they're burning down buildings. They are, I think some people have even been killed in the middle of this. They're attacking people, other citizens. Good citizens have had to try and protect buildings with their guns and just standing in front of them, guarding their own buildings. So we know it's wrong. Why is it wrong? Because it's based on a lie. What is the lie that's out there that they're trying to make everyone else believe that they're justified in doing this? The lie is that this is about race. It wasn't about race. It's about bad cops abusing their power. And the fact that bad cops are getting even badder and more evil and more abusive and more violent around the world. I know specifically in the United States, cops often don't get charged or go to prison because they are protected when they have to go to court, and when the prosecutor wants to charge them with anything, their lawyers defend them under, I guess it's a statute, or I'm not a lawyer, I don't know what these things are called, but I'm reading about it, it's qualified immunity. So I'm not sure if Canada has this same escape route and for our cops, but in trying to research it, Canada has crown immunity, state immunity, sovereign immunity. So our whole government system is set up against us citizens. If we can just let the cops and politicians do whatever they want, we're basically screwed from being able to do anything about it. And we know that evil people will take advantage of that. Maybe they'll even purposely become cops, some psychopaths, knowing that they can go around so-called legally killing people because of this qualified immunity clause. We're seeing that happen to a lot of children. We're seeing, police are attacking little children. They're being shot, they're being, killed or maimed because these police officers are just all out abusing their power. That has to be addressed. And there has to be brave people to stand up against that. So Antifa protesters, rioters, looters, all those people out there, it's all based on a lie. And freedom cannot be based on a lie. You don't have freedom then. It's the truth that sets us free. So if you think about it, would you rather have truth or freedom? Well, you have to pick truth. Because without the truth, you're not free. So the fact that our mainstream media hides the truth or all out prints fake news, all of that is based on a lie. They're perpetrating lies. Our politicians like Justin Trudeau, he lies constantly. He never tells the truth. And that's what we're feeling. We're feeling less free because of his lies. He twists words, he double speaks. The United Nations, they're based on lies. The whole structure of the United Nations is a joke because of the countries that run the United Nations. Their idea of freedom and human rights is based on a lie. It's not what we're thinking human rights are. So when they say things like, oh, it's a human right to not have to live in poverty, that might sound really nice, but that's not what they're meaning when they say that. When they say they want to eliminate poverty, that means they want to eliminate poor people. They want to get rid of you and me. I met a lady once, I actually worked with her, and she was learning this in university already years ago. A lot of the elite, and we know this for a fact, want population reduction. The absolutely pathetic thing of it was this person that was in university fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. Yes, poor people ruin the world is what she was taught, and she believed it, and she agreed with it. And I'm thinking in my mind, okay, does she realize that she's considered to be a poor person according to the rich elite? Unless you're a billionaire, or maybe even the billionaires think that millionaires are poor and millionaires and less are poor, right? So she's thinking because she's not homeless that she's one of the rich elite that will be spared this population reduction. No, lady. They're looking at you as just as poor as a homeless person. Just because you might have $40,000, $80,000 in a house and a car, you might feel rich compared to a homeless person. But that elite, those people that control the United Nations are politicians like Justin Trudeau and people like Bill Gates. They want you gone. Anyone less than multi-millionaires, they want you gone. They consider you as carbon pollution. People are carbon based and they're trying to reduce carbon. That means they're trying to reduce you. We have to watch out for their lies, the way they twist their words. They're not saying what they're meaning, and they're trying to lull us into a deep sleep of their lies where we don't even recognize it anymore. We got to wake other people up. How are we going to fight our revolution? Antifa has theirs. The extreme left wing has theirs. Even some liberals, they have their revolution. They're against us. We have our revolution. We have our cause. We want more freedom. We want less government. How are we going to win that war? How are we going to win our battles? I know for sure one thing. Probably 99% of us aren't going to be out there looting. We're not going to be beating the crap and kicking people in the head and being violent against other people. We won't be burning down buildings. We're seeing that around the world as well. You know when it's a left-wing group by the way they protest and riot. You know it's a right-wing group by the way they protest and riot. One constantly immediately goes to breaking laws, and the media and politicians, the majority of them, will constantly protect those left-wing rioters and looters and violent people. Us right-wing conservative patriotic citizens, and those of you that really identify with the whole Q movement, I don't really follow it. I'm not against it. I think it's awesome if it's unifying people. I am more than happy to see that because we need to unite. We're all on the same page around the world, right? So all patriotic citizens around the world want the same thing. We're all seeing the same things in our country. Our country's being destroyed. When I watch what's going on in Ireland, exact same thing is happening here in Canada. France, we've seen the Yellow Vest movement, and we have to defend ourselves against the violence while we're protesting peacefully. It's insane. It's absolutely crazy. We see people right now, this week, being allowed to loot and to be violent and to burn cities down. Interestingly enough, those are liberal cities. Left-wing cities, left-wing states are being burnt down. Right-wing, they're peaceful. Now, what is your line? What's your line in the sand? We got to defend our country. We got to defend our freedoms. Eventually, there will be an all-out civil war. Civil wars all across the world. The difference is right-wing, conservative, patriotic citizens do it in defense. They will defend. You look at the Yellow Vests, they're standing there peacefully being attacked by Macron's mercenaries. Don't try and convince me that those are French cops attacking their own citizens. Yes, of course there's going to be a couple of psychopaths like we're seeing. There are psychopathic cops that are crazy, and their training feeds into their craziness. It's the best way to say it. So yeah, you're always going to have evil people, but I'm willing to bet that those mercenaries attacking the French Yellow Vests that were just walking in the street, yeah, those gotta be mercenaries that Macron brought in from Libya, Turkey, Egypt. You can disguise them. I can't tell the difference looking at them. I don't know if they're French or from Egypt. They'll look the same to me. I'm sorry, but they do. And when they're all in their getup, who knows? When they're not speaking, and you can't hear their accent or their language that they're speaking, who knows where they're from? Will those same types of mercenaries be imported into Canada to quell any right-wing, conservative, patriotic protests? Probably. Like I said, this is going to get bloody. We're going to have to defend ourselves. We'll have to do this differently. We don't go around looting, destroying each other's businesses. That's not the answer. But there sure are a lot of questions. And this is going to get worse. Our life as we knew it is fading away quickly over the last 10 years, 20 years. It's even over the last year, look at the difference already. By this time next year, yeah, good luck, people. We're not living in the same world that we were living in. And I refuse to call it the new normal, because that is just code word for New World Order. That's their code. They want the New World Order. They want one global government. There's already a global parliament. You can look these things up as soon as you Google search them on the UN website. There is a global parliament. They will be dividing the world into regions. You will not be able to vote who governs you. That is the point we have to get across to people that think that it's all sweet and nice, we're going to be global citizens. No, they are setting the stage for the Antichrist, because there is going to be one global leader. It's coming. Look around you. They are setting the stage for that. There will be one global leader, not anyone you voted for. And he will be in charge of the United Nations. He will be in charge of the global parliament, the regions. We might have a North American region, a South American region. It may go by continents. And over top of this parliament, the global parliament, will reign the Antichrist over you and I. That's the truth of it. This was prophesied many times over the last thousands of years, and prophesied about in the Bible, in the Old Testament even, and especially in the book of Revelations, the New Testament. You better hang on to your hats. This is going fast. We are in the early days of the apocalypse. My gut is to say I'm sorry that you don't agree with that. I'm sorry if you don't see it. You have to admit something is really, really shifted and changed. We could wake up tomorrow to a whole new world yet again. A whole so-called new normal yet again. Because a week ago from today, could you have ever imagined that many cities would be burning down, that much looting would be going on, that George Floyd would have been killed by bad cops? My first gut thing is I was sticking up for George Floyd. I didn't know who he was, but I could tell. And you can research my Twitter feed. I said that man was a gentle giant. My heart broke for him. I did not see race. What I saw was bad, abusive, evil cops abusing their power and killing somebody. And I couldn't stop it. And that's the truth of it. Stop looking at race to divide us. Look at the world as good and evil. That's how I was raised. I don't see color. I don't see race. I think of you as, are you a good person? Or are you an evil person? And more, the divide is wider. There's no so-so people right in the middle there, right? Oh, they're sometimes good, sometimes bad. No, it seems more divided, especially with politicians, mainstream media, power-hungry cops. They're either evil cops or good cops. Evil politicians or good politicians. And how are we going to unite around the world to fight the evil United Nations and the elite? Not only do we need to unite in our own countries as patriotic citizens, we need to continue to keep uniting around the world to push back the evil, because we got to be there for each other. I recommended a very, very good drama radio series. I will link it into the YouTube comments, because if you don't know how this will play out beyond this, and leading up into the Antichrist, we all know about the apocalypse, we all know about the battle of Armageddon, it's going to happen. If all that type of stuff is very unclear or confusing to you, if reading the book of Revelations is unclear and confusing to you, I just listened to a 12-part radio drama series. It was excellent and addictive. So I just put it on, and you can just even do other things around the house and listen to it. But it lays it out step by step, very clearly, very simply, in a fictional way. So it's very interesting. So you will know how we get from this point to the Antichrist being in rule over the UN. And look how easy it could happen. Look how much power Bill Gates already has. Look how much power and influence George Soros has. It is not too much of a stretch to realize that there is going to rise up one yet more influential and powerful, and will grab the ultimate power over the entire world, which is the Antichrist. I'm not crazy. These prophecies have been written about for thousands of years, been commented on by very brilliant philosophers for thousands of years, been re-prophesied about, and we see the prophecies coming true. Look at the book by George Orwell, 1984. That alone should convert people that are atheists to believe in God. That book was prophecy, not coincidence. Oh, how did this person write this book so far back before these things started to unfold? We're all like, okay, this was written about already in 1984. That's prophecy. God cared so much about us knowing the truth that he inspires authors, even movie directors, writers, regular people, maybe people that don't even believe in God. But God is that powerful, he can inspire anybody to write a book, make a movie where we're all standing back and thinking, okay, this is kind of freaky because this was all written about, or I saw all these events in a movie. It's not predictive programming necessarily. It's God revealing himself and his prophecies to us to give us a warning. So you have been warned. But are you ready for it? And that's why I say listen to this dramatic radio series. If it's overwhelming and confusing, takes it step by step in an excellent way from a fictional point of view, we can help you know what to expect, what's coming. You can always ask me questions too. I will do my best to answer you, find the answers, or ask other people, get that question out there. We can figure this out together. And the way that we've been doing that already in Unity has been amazing. We just need to continue to strive and work really hard to stay united together. That is one of our biggest faults. Patriotic citizens are attacking each other constantly. We do not have time for this. Make your decision. You're either for us or against us. The minute you start being against us and okay, so let's say attacking me personally, you've already moved to the other side. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying that I don't want to have debate or discussion or other opinions. What I'm talking about is personal attacks and it kind of going a step further than that. I'm seeing people attack constantly. I already got attacked. It's like, okay, am I gonna dig my heels in and be in this for the long haul? Or am I gonna run away scared of people attacking me and spreading lies about me? Because I know that's gonna happen. I'm your host, Denise in Canada. This has been another Toxic Radio. Hang in there, folks. We got this.